Hi Ben, how you doing? All right, so I'm looking and I'm seeing your basic topic. Let me see, where was it? Hang on one second. I want to find that. Okay, yeah. So the way I'm reading this is that your topic is law enforcement bias in the justice system. That's a fascinating topic, and I think it's one that really has a lot of potential. This needs to be refined. Um, this whole thing needs to be refined, Ben. I don't mean that. I mean, no, that's the whole thing needs to be refined. This idea needs to be refined. Okay, so start with your basic premise. Is there law enforcement or an infographic on law enforcement? We know there's law enforcement bias in the justice system. Um, we know that. We know there's definitely bias in law enforcement. Okay, so that's a starting point. So what we want to do is start doing your research on law enforcement bias, of presumably based on what? Based on race, I would think, right? And that's something you want to do. So I think that would be the interesting way to go is law enforcement bias based on race. Now you could do it based on gender, sure, but I think you're not going to find as much research. But law enforcement bias based on race, absolutely. Then what you could do is so that's your topic, law enforcement bias based on race. Now what you could do is really start trying to define what I'm not really seeing a call to action here. So in other words, a call to action is what do you want the viewer to do once they're done learning your infographic information? Just learning it isn't enough. I mean, and it can be in an infographic. The basic presentation of information can be an infographic, but we have learned in our class that effective infographics and the most effective infographics include a call to action and drive some sort of a decision on the viewer's part. Whether that's a change in behavior, modified behavior, start or stop a specific behavior, or what you can do to help contribute to rectifying a problem. All right. So what I want you to do is this: is I want you to refine your general statement, your general mission statement. Your intent is an infographic on law enforcement bias based on race or whatever you want. That's just my suggestion. All right, I'm just trying to help clarify things, really kind of clarify things down to an irreducible core, so to speak. So we're looking at law enforcement bias based on race in the United States. Okay, then develop a mission statement. What do you want the viewer to do with that information? All right. And then you can start presenting your statistics. But before you do that, and after you develop your solid call to action, define that target audience. Okay, I think you talked about target audience. You did. And you said, my target audience will be social media based. That is not enough information. I'm a little unclear, but I think you're saying your target audience are people who use social media. Okay, but is that a target? Is that a target? That's presuming that your infographic is going to be posted on social media, which it very well may. But is that your target audience? Target audience is not defined by the media that one uses. Well, it can be, but not necessarily. So, and in this case, I don't think I would think it would be more opportune to define the demographic characteristics of the people who you want to read your infographic. All right, define that target audience as narrowly as possible. Okay, try to use age group, basic habits, basic income, basic demographic information. All right, that way you know how to communicate visually and textually with this target audience. Okay, so great start for Sunday submission. I'd like you to refine your call to action and really define your target audience. Okay, all right, Ben, great start. Any questions at all? Please let me know. Thank you very much.